everybody, my name is Taylor. I hope that you are having a good day. I hope that you are having a great day. But if you happen to be having a really terrible day, I do hope that it gets just a little bit better. Alrighty, why don't we like get started? Okay. Episode 8. Isn't it great? 8. It's so great, it's 8. Welcome to episode 8 of the Grief Brief series. If you are new, quick rundown. My mom died in September of 2016. I recorded a bunch of videos on Instagram and Snapchat and on my phone of everything I was feeling and thinking and going through to sort of get rid of that stigma of you're not supposed to talk about grief and you're not supposed to talk about how sad you are that someone is gone, and after a few weeks, like, shh, everybody's moved on, don't talk about it anymore. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I didn't. And I saved a bunch of them and I recorded a bunch of stuff and I upload them on YouTube every Monday and Friday. So that is what this is, and welcome to the show. Episode 8. What can you expect? I am back in the suburbs of Chicago visiting my mom's house for a multitude of reasons. One being that I needed to start packing up her stuff. So I would go there on the weekends or on the days that I had off, and I would start slowly but surely organizing things, getting rid of stuff that was just garbage, figuring out what I wanted to keep, like blah blah blah, so that I could eventually have a bunch of people come over and help me move all the stuff to the verified locations. 2, I needed to go there because I had to pick up her death certificate, because you can't do a lot of stuff after someone dies without a death certificate. But in order to pick up the death certificate, that meant I also had to pick up her ashes. Yes, my mother got cremated. When she was dying, she basically told me she wanted me to cremate her because she knew I didn't want to live in Chicago the rest of my life, and that she wanted to be able to go wherever I went. So after about 10 or 12 days after she passed, that's not accurate. How long did it take? I would say it took about like 2.5 weeks. I was able to go pick up her ashes. I also had to maneuver stuff because the place had the most inconvenient times ever. So I had to take a day off of work just to go pick up her ashes. So basically you're gonna hear me talk about that experience and how freaking weird it is. Full disclosure. I don't do dead people. I really have just a strong aversion to dead people. And so I was just like, I don't really want to do this, but I have to do it because I have to get the paperwork, and also I can't just leave my mom's ashes there. So I called the lady and I told her I wanted to pick them up. She's like, great, you can pick up the remains. And I was like, remains? That's a really kind of a really gross way to refer to somebody's ashes, honestly. And 2 of my best friends went with me because I think that they knew I was very uncomfortable and it was going to be this heavy experience. But honestly, I was just really awkward the whole time because I didn't know how to feel. Also, my mom's ashes, her body was burned and put in a bag that was then put in a box, and it was in my hands about yay far away from me. It is a very weird experience. Picking up someone's ashes is just strange, and it was just, it's heavy, and it's a lot of, for me it wasn't emotional, it was just real in a way that also felt, it was it felt even more surreal than it did anything, because it was just the whole concept of what that meant and what was in the box was just so bizarre that I couldn't even handle it. But you are going to hear me talk about that and how I felt and everything. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you felt just as uncomfortable as I did, or you at least understand why it was so freaking weird. Enjoy.
Hello
Hello everybody, it is I again, today in the wonderful world of death certificates and doing stuff. I know it's only like 1:30 or 2 o'clock. What time is it?
It's like,
1
it's
o'clock.
like 1.
Yeah.
No, it's actually like 1:36.
That's Charles. It has already been a day. Today, this morning, I had to go pick up my mom's remains, as they call them, or ashes, if you will. And that was weird. I was super nervous. It was like a big thing that I knew I had to take care of, and I'd been avoiding it. Because when you pick up somebody's remains, you get a death certificate, so I knew I had to get that, which I really need because I have to notify all of these companies about stuff and finish filing all these insurance claims, and I couldn't do that because I didn't have the death certificate because I was avoiding picking up my mom's ashes. So I went. Two of my best friends went with me. One, because I didn't want to do it alone, and two, I think they kind of knew I was nervous and didn't really know what I felt. I was super nervous. I drove. We went to this place that wasn't that far from here, from my mom's house, not my mom's house. And you get out the car, and we couldn't find it. It was like an office. I was like, this doesn't look like a crematory, but I guess the crematory is someplace else. I think that's how you say it, crematory. So I had to take the day off from work so that I could do that because they're only open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 4. So we walked in, and this lady, was like, what's your name? Told her my name. She went in a filing cabinet, and we all thought she was about to pull my mom's ashes out of a filing cabinet, but no, she didn't. She just looked up the number. And I was told, like, so basically when you get cremated, you have to purchase the urn or whatever container you're going to use it in separately. And I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with my mom's ashes, like if I'm going to bury them, or like use some of it and grow a plant. And urns like start at like $200. And that's for like a super basic one, not like a nice one. So I didn't buy that. So I was told basically what they do is they create, they burn your body to ashes, and then they put your body that is now ash into a bag, and they put that bag into like a cardboard box, and they give it to you until you decide what you want to do with the ashes. Because some people, you don't need to urn if you're going to go scatter them someplace, which is illegal to do a lot of places, in case you didn't know. And so I thought it was going to be like this huge box, but it wasn't. It was like a box smaller than this pad of paper. It also wasn't heavy at all either. So this lady, like, she shows me the death certificate, and I see my mom's cause of death, and it says lung carcinoma. And I thought it was going to say something else. I don't know why, but I like genuinely thought, because my aunt had leukemia. She had a whole slew of diseases, but leukemia is basically what took her. And when my mom went to get a copy of her sister's death certificate, my aunt's death certificate, it said, what was her cause of death? It was like blood in the brain or something. Like, that's what happened. So I didn't know if they were going to get specific, like, this is exactly how your mom died. But they just pretty much just said lung cancer. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think I was more scared for my reaction than I was for the actual experience. And because of that, I didn't really have a big reaction, I didn't have this, like, I didn't break down, I didn't cry. I laughed because it was really awkward. I don't know, it was just weird. I was like carrying this box full of my mom's ashes that used to be her body and her brain and her lungs and all of this stuff, and now it's sitting in the trunk of her car because I don't know what to do with it, and I definitely can't take it to my apartment in Chicago because I live with a friend of mine, and I feel like that would be really weird if I was like, hey, can I like plot my mom's like ashed up body over here? And I'm staying at her house today and tomorrow, so I don't want to put it inside the house yet because I don't want her to haunt me, because I've gotten some weird signs, so I'll make a different video on that. Some weird things have happened, or interesting, I think. I look a hot mess. I look real cute right now, but I have a bunch of stuff to take care of, so I don't care how cute I look, and I'm starving. But yeah, it was a weird experience. I like carried the box maybe like 5 feet out of the office. I was barely holding on to it, and I was keeping it away from my body. And one of my friends was like, do you want me to take it? And I was like, yeah. And so she took it and carried it to the car. It's just a weird experience, and now I have to go do a bunch of adult stuff I don't want to do, and that is overwhelming. And I'm also in the process of packing up her house right now. Well, we just started, so it's like not that much. I have to go get boxes and stuff. But it is a lot to do. A lot of things I've been avoiding doing, and I don't exactly know how I'm gonna get it all done. Just me. Like, I've got people to help, but again, it's like all of my mom's stuff that I have to like tell people what to do with, and that's really difficult. So we shall see. I will keep you posted. Bye-bye. And that is all I have to say. I hope it did some good for somebody out there. And I hope you understand, it's just, everything's just so weird, you guys. Death is so freaking bizarre and strange and emotional and trying and draining and overwhelming, and I hope that whenever you have to deal with that in your life, you have good people around you. I was fortunate enough to have some great people around me, so I hope that you also have some really great supportive people around you, because it is so freaking weird. You can catch the Grief Brief every Monday and Friday. If you enjoyed this video or the Grief Brief series as a whole, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that you do. Share it with people who you think this might help a little bit. I'd appreciate it, and maybe they'd appreciate it. So I do have plans to start uploading things that aren't just about my grief, but are about grief and death in general and the whole sort of business of dying. And things that aren't just about grief. Surprise, surprise, I do have other stuff to talk about sometimes. But I want to wait a little bit and focus on this, but you can be expecting that in the coming months. Alrighty, I'll see you on Monday. Bye.